Hola, mi nombre es LB, the realist from Surrealistic Studios. We're the realist of real. I appreciate everybody who landed on this video today to join me. So I'm gonna read a little bit from Common Dreams here again, because Common Dreams they always bring this shit, okay? So as public schools shout approval for Ocasio-Cortez 70% tax rate for ultra rich, at least that Davos admits, ¿sabes qué? You know what? It's scary. And I'm gonna go ahead and read this, and I'm doing this accent on purpose because I just feel as though. So let's go. Gathering for the annual World Economic Forum in the Swiss Alps town of Davos, some of the world's wealthiest business leaders and so-called thought leaders focused their attention Monday on a proposal that's getting traction in the US. A return to a far higher marginal tax rate for the wealthy as a way of correcting the country's widening wealth gap. A majority of American voters support the idea, a fact that was cited by one of Davos' attendees as precisely why he fears the proposal. It's scary. Scott Minerd, head of the $265 billion investment firm Guggenheim Partners, told CNBC of Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a Democrat in New York, proposal for a 70% tax rate for income over $10 million per year. Predicting that the idea will likely continue to get more of the attention is captured over the past 3 weeks, since the freshman congresswoman mentioned in an interview with 60 Minutes. This is going to gain more momentum, he said Minerd. I think the likelihood that a 70% tax rate or something like that become policy is actually very real. Another attendee, Blackstone CEO Steven Schwarzman, sarcastically told CNBC that he is widely enthusiastic about the tax proposal, complaining that the US already has the second most progressive tax regime in the world. Ocasio-Cortez herself showed little sympathy for filthy elites like Minerd and Schwarzman, tweeting her disbelief that the ultra-wealthy are publicly expressing concern over their own financial well-being, while nearly half of Americans regularly struggle to afford basic monthly expenses. Now this tweet is from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, aka AOC. It's wild that some people are more scared of a marginal tax rate than the fact that 40% of Americans struggle to pay for at least one basic need like food or rent. Imagine if we focus positively away from the fear of the former towards the solving of the latter. Public polling shows Minerd has reason to be concerned. Since her 60 Minutes appearance, a poll found that 59% of Americans support a 70% tax rate for income above $10 million, including 45% of Republicans in major TV networks that devoted more time to her idea. On Monday, Late Show host Stephen Colbert invited Ocasio-Cortez to explain that 70% tax rate for the richest Americans would simply be a way to correct the excess that the rich have been afforded in recent decades, asking Colbert's 3.6 million viewers, what kind of society do we want to live in? Minerd is among those who have denounced Ocasio-Cortez and promoting extreme solution, but the Congresswoman's case has been supported by economists like Emmanuel Saiz and Gabriel Zucman, who wrote in the New York Times Tuesday, it's obvious that the affluent who've seen their earnings be boom since the 1980s, while their taxes fail, can contribute more to the public coffers, especially since they have in the past. Sharply progressive taxation is American invention. The United States was the first country in the world in 1917, 4 years after the creation of the income tax, to impose taxes as high as 67% on the highest incomes. When Representative Ocasio-Cortez proposed a 70% rate for incomes above $10 million, she's reconnecting with the American tradition. She's reviving an ethos that Ronald Reagan successfully repressed, but that prevailed during the most of the 20th century. Meanwhile, columnist Liano Laurent wrote at Bloomberg that it is no high tax rates for the wealthy that seem preposterous today, but rather the annual retreat for the world's elites, especially amid mounting news of the damage that worldwide wealth inequality has done in recent years. The past decade and a half has seen U.S. corporate profits outgrow employee compensation at an unprecedented pace, according to the St. Louis Fed, Laurent wrote. A Bloomberg News analysis for the fortunes of a dozen Davos attended found that they soared by a combined $170 billion since 2009. Those feel-good panel debates on topics like better capitalism is pretty laughable. More than 10 years after the collapse of Lehman Brothers, hostility towards the corporate elite is finally hitting the political mainstream in a meaningful way. Executive rewards are looking indefensible, and being a globe-trotting thought leader offers no protection, he added. This work is licensed under the Creative Commons Attribution Share, a like 3.0 license. That wasn't part of the article. Lo siento, perdóname. So, ¿sabes qué? I think this is awesome. I'm going to stop that voice now because I was pretty annoying for like 5.5 minutes. All right. I just like doing voices. All right. So, you heard the numbers. More than half of the American citizens agree with Ocasio-Cortez's 70% marginal tax rate. It was, I'll give you the exact numbers here. Shit, now I can't find it. Yeah, okay, so 59% of Americans support a 70% tax rate. 45% of Republicans. 45% of Republicans agree with a progressive Democrats' 70% marginal tax rate. And again, it's 70% marginal, not effective. Because after loopholes and, them going through the correct channels, they effectively lower that all the way down, and they pay like 20-something% or something like that. So it's 70% tax rate after your $10 million and $1. So every dollar after $10 million is taxed at 70%. And they did the numbers on that. That's like, how many families was that? I think that was like 10,000 families. So we're talking about a tax rate for 10,000 families who make $10 million and above. We're not even talking about the majority of Americans here. We're talking about 10,000 families in a nation of 300 and how much million? 300 plus million people? So if they try to sell that as, AOC just wants to raise everyone's taxes, that's simply incorrect. All right? That's simply incorrect. So I agree with the 70% marginal tax rate. I actually think that we should make it higher. They mentioned that we actually had something like that. They said 4 years after the creation of the income tax to impose tax rates as high as 67% on the highest incomes. 67%. That was in 1917. 1917. And I believe it was even raised to as high as 95% during the height of the big technological boom. So when we were doing the best, that's when we had the highest marginal tax rate for the wealthiest of Americans. You know what I'm saying? So if they try to say that, this just doesn't work, that's also incorrect. AOC is causing some, she's making some waves. They're even talking about primarying her. They're going to start their own Justice Democrats to the Justice Democrats. They're going to start the Unjustice Democrats to unseat the Justice Democrat. Real shit. I just read the article. They got her, she got them scared. Real shit. Real shit. And I'm glad that she's representing me. I'm not from New York. I mean, I got people that are still in New York, so in a way she kind of represents me. And she's Puerto Rican. I'm half Puerto Rican, so in a way she does represent me. She is my representative. And I'm so glad that she's young. She's full of spit and vinegar. She's ready to jump in there. She's chasing Mitch McConnell all around the goddamn, all around the Capitol, or all around the, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is great. AOC can't stay out of Fox News. Fox News is continuously talking about AOC. She's continuously been in the news since she, came in the spotlight. And everything that she says gains traction. A 70% marginal tax rate The Green New Deal. She revamped the Green New Deal. We all know the Green New Deal. Jill Stein and the Green Party was talking about the Green New Deal. And apparently before Jill Stein and the Green Party, it was some other eco-friendly organization. I forget the name of it. Excuse me. But it's been said before. But, you know, AOC took it, ran with it, and brought it back into the spotlight. Now we have even Kamala Harris talking about a Green New Deal. What the fuck do you know about a Green New Deal, Kamala? By the way, it's Kamala, not Kamala. Just saying. So this is great. Let me know what you guys think about AOC's 70% marginal tax rate. Again, it's marginal, not effective, meaning that you're not actually going to pay that 70% after you go through the loopholes and all that shit. You're going to pay something way less than that. All right. So your effective tax rate is going to be less than the 70%. But the marginal tax rate, she wants it at 70%. And that's even pretty centrist in comparison to what's already been done in the past. That has been proven to have been efficient. It worked. It worked. So again, I'm happy that she's in the spotlight. I'm happy that she's continuously keeping these issues in the forefront, just like Bernie Sanders is. That's what's up. We need more people like Bernie Sanders and AOC keeping these issues alive and talked about. And that's what I have to say about it. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video if you like, share, and subscribe to me if you haven't before so we can keep talking. All right? Love, light, and peace. Catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.